We can't offer much during this time of crisis, but we can offer what we have.
Can't.
All right, let's do it again. How many people are in there? Son of a bitch. Yeah, so that was cool. Don't know what happened. It wasn't because of these gems or that gem that just kind of went like that. Look at this. Perfect. You guys get to see that. Perfect. Boom. I don't know what happened. We were just in the middle of talking, and Brett thought that Jason Momoa was dating Zoe Kravitz. And then the internet didn't want that to happen.
So you're saying he's not dating his stepdaughter?
He's not dating his stepdaughter.
That is so odd.
So I guess we're going to start this show all over again. Here we go.
Different times.
Yeah.
Hey, Roaring. Jag hör en turf and en tums penis.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to SEN Live. It's the Schmoedown Entertainment Network. Take a two. Take a two. Welcome back. For those of you listening to this on audio, you have no idea that this is the second time we tried to do this one. We're back. I'm back. Brett's back. We tried this once before. The greatest TV shows.
Obi-Wan donated $20. My favorite show is MASH. I've been watching it for 40 years and can always go back to it.
What do we get?
Second favorite is probably Scrubs or Big Bang Theory or Roseanne.
MASH, Scrubs, Big Bang Theory.
Well, look, we started right away, and we'll get into this in a second. So hold off on the Schmoebots for just a second so I can tell you guys what's going on. For those people who are joining us on audio, we attempted to do a greatest TV shows thing, and it was going pretty well, and people were already putting in their suggestions and whatnot. We were getting into the whole conversation, and then Brett decided, we started with the Snyder cut, and it looked like the Jason Momoa. I said that Jason Momoa had made this video, and I believe because of the video in general that he put out, I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. I think a lot of people think it's going to happen, and he's pretty cocky about it. And then he said, Brett said, "Do you think he's being cocky because he's dating Zoe Kravitz?" And I said, "That's his stepdaughter."
They look pretty damn close.
Yeah, well, that's because it's his stepdaughter. And I said, he's dating his mother.
She looks like her mother.
Right. Well, that's true.
She's a spitting image.
Her mother is like whatever she might be, 50 years old, maybe, and she is fucking smoking hot.
They would do that thing there where you go, like, if you didn't know if they weren't famous, you'd go like, which one's the daughter? You ever seen those?
No, she's. I mean, from back in the Cosby days, man, she was smoking hot. She still is smoking hot. Anyway,
I loved her in High Fidelity.
Yeah,
I loved her in that one.
That's right. She was good and fun.
Boom, and you're a winner.
And you're a winner. So look. We're gonna do this thing. So here's now the Schmoebot is on. So now there were so many of them coming in, and we're gonna. But what if you put a Schmoebot in the past feed, and we're gonna get to it. Basically, the way it's gonna work is if you're doing the Schmoebots, put your favorite TV show that you like and why you liked it.
Wires donated $20. My top 3 shows are The Wire, MASH, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
A lot of Wire here, a lot of some MASH I already saw on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So that's really blown out. I don't like that. Isn't it?
Yeah, you're a little. Yeah, I'm like all. Yeah, it's one or the other.
Yeah,
we'll have to do some adjustments.
Douglas Johnson donated $20. Way to go, you dumb dicks.
Thank you. Hey, you can
pay your bills. That's all it takes. All you got to do. You just got to pay your bills. You want to be a deadbeat? They're going to turn it off in the middle of it. You're lucky that someone likes you out there. You probably got a fucking Schmoebot to pay for your damn bills, you fucking delinquent. And tell you what, talk about your favorite TV shows and guarantee you're not going to bring up Golden Girls. Shut the fuck up, Pac-Man!
Favorite comedy shows: Chappelle Show. Favorite drama: The Wire. Favorite cartoon show between Batman Oarsman. Favorite show I watch with my dad: Three Stooges. I know, weird list.
Hey, not at all. Three Stooges, good stuff.
Three Stooges is great. That's not a weird list. There's going to be some good ones. I tried to get, I got to turn that back on. I got to try to get, I texted Katie. I was going to see if Katie can come on. It's kind of short notice. Gave Bonnie some shit this morning because I sent her, listen to this text exchange that Bonnie and I had this morning. I said, and this is, to be fair, normally I give her like 3 days notice and she still never makes it, right? But she did she made it last show, Monday or whatever. And I said to her, I said, hey, do you want to be on the show today? We're going to do greatest TV shows of all time. I don't know if you want to join. She's like, well, when? I said, 4 minutes. She's like, I can't. I have a call at 10 o'clock. So give me some notice. I said, I just did. So, so what time is the call over? So call in when you're done. She's like, I don't know. I have no idea. She's doing something business-wise. And I said, look, sometimes, I can give. She goes, give me a little more notice. I said, sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. I sent you the link. Call in when you're done with your call. And she says, I don't know how long it's going to be. I said, all right, that's fine. I said, awesome. Well, if you can. Then I sent her that art, this thing here. Where is it? That one. I sent that to her, to which she replied, you can't do that to me. I didn't know about it. Because I wasn't really sending that to her for that. I was just sending it to her.
This looks fun.
Yeah, I was sending that to just and give me the guy's name again, so now that we can actually give him props.
Oh, good. I'll have to pull
Josh
it up.
Barnett donated $20.
Josh.
Number 1 is Chuck for me, but a top 5 show that is overlooked and just ended is The Magicians. It's emo Harry Potter meets Narnia, and the characters are just fantastic.
We had the show.
Love the show.
Thank you.
And look out for the Hunter exchanges coming for that tournament win.
The tournament starts today, everybody.
Bob Raymond. Shit. See, I got to get
Yeah,
on
what's his
Facebook
name?
more. He's got a kick-ass sniper one.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, he does. And he's got the bandit. Oh, look at that.
I didn't see. Oh, I didn't see that.
He's got some cool ones for the
I gotta talk to this
the bandit, the outlaw.
That's a good one, man.
Where the white women
Oh, he's got that one too. It's all in the Facebook group.
Where the Tashi converters at.
Oh, that's good. All right, you got to go on the Facebook group and check that out.
Yeah.
The SEN Live page.
Or Bob Raymond.
Now, I don't know when we talked about it on the last show, but real quick. So SEN Live, Patreon, and Schmoedown Patreon has a lot of great stuff coming out. We're going to be getting the fans involved a lot more. So people, basically what we're going to do is going to start sending out links to people that you'll get exclusive Q&A shows on both Patreons, that patrons will have access to, that all patrons can watch, and then at the $10 level and up, you'll be sent the StreamYard link, and you can join in on the conversations, and it'll be kind of first come first serve basis. But we did one on Friday. We did one with on the Schmoedown Patreon. It was a lot of fun. I got to connect with a lot of good peeps, a lot of people that I know in here, and it was cool. So anyway, all right, so let's get right into this thing and let's start talking about these shows, because like I said, make sure that you go on over, that's what I was saying, if you're going to do a Schmoebot, make sure that you put in your show and why you loved it. So if it is The Wire, instead of putting like a list of shows that, because we're going to talk about one of them. So pick one particular one out of your list that you love, and what why it spoke to you. You know, why you loved it so much. You know, and I think that to me that's going to be something pretty interesting that I want to do. So that way, you know, I like The Wire because at this time of my life for this and this, or I really like the characters, I really like the acting, because what we want to encourage in any of these things that we do here is the overall discussion of it, because I want to be able, because there's only so much obviously with that Schmobot that you can get across your personality. So we want to take bits and pieces of that, and then Brett and I can have a conversation off of it. So on the next Schmobot, if somebody can try to do it that way, the Schmobot is on. I turned it back on. So just make sure you do it that way, if you please. Did you watch, what was the one that you said you didn't watch, or West Wing?
Yeah, I didn't see West Wing or ER. I missed both of those. That's what,
Yeah,
ER only ran for like 37 years though, right?
That's right. I know it was on for a long time.
I knew somebody that got fired from ER.
Really?
Someone from Acme, yeah.
Really?
He made a spoof. He thinks this is the reason he got off. He made a spoof sketch
On ER?
about ER, and then like they
saw it and they got rid of him?
He thinks that's why it was, but
Or maybe
he's
he's just bad
doing
actor.
well now anyway.
is he?
So
Okay.
I'm not.
No, it's not that's too sad for him. No, I said I watched West Wing because our mutual friend Andrew Freed is a producer. I used to go over his place and we'd watch it, smoke a doob, check it out. That was a long time ago. I don't know
My
if it's-
favorite Freed story is when you brought him to the is it free for all? Was it? What was,
I don't
he
remember
came
one
to
of these
some
events.
event and he had a girl with him.
Yeah.
And she goes, I said, yeah, somebody came from like Australia, and she goes, for this,
Pac-Man
and the way she
$20. I'm so happy my $20 Professor Crow told me STFU. Another show I watched frowning up was Teen Titan and Gargoyles.
That's right.
Teen Titan. I like the Teen Titan. I saw some of that, but
Yeah. You know, well, yeah, she did. She said she
didn't mean it
She
that
didn't mean
way,
it that
but
way,
it
but
was-
it was, and I remember the girl. Yeah, she did, and he looks because Freed. If you guys, you know,
Francisco Ramirez
Francisco.
donated $20. Avatar, The Last Airbender is probably my favorite show ever. Great characters, animation, themes it deals with. It has everything you could ask. Really recommend it now that it's on Netflix. Fuck that Shyamalan movie.
so Francisco, that was exactly what I was talking
Yeah.
about. That was a fantastic Schmobot, and I'm not shitting on anybody before because I just explained it. So going forward, if you can do it that way, what Francisco did there, what a great explanation of why he loved it. I hear great things about Airbender, like the show.
I do too. And somebody said you got to see this, and I thought they were talking about the
movie.
film.
No,
and I'm
no.
like, no, I'm not going to watch this.
No, well, you know who's involved in was involved in the show was
With
Dave Filoni.
Filoni.
Yeah.
I was going to do it. I was going to
You
do
knew
it.
it. Yeah, sorry. Well, I don't know what you know anymore. Try to help you out here.
I'm learning.
You are learning, but that's
we
a big
can
one.
make
So-
him stronger.
Yeah, it is though, man. It is. It's on Netflix, and I'm going to. It's funny because I contemplated watching it the other day because of people like Francisco who swear by it. Right? They love that show. So that's a good one there, guys. I'm probably going to have to at least put my feet in the water.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my feet in the water, check it out. Okay, so once again, the Schmobot is on, ladies and gents. So get on over there to streamlabs.com/theschmodown. Tell us your show. Why'd you love it so much? Let's start with, the one and only Bobcat Goldsworth's birthday.
Uh-oh.
Today is not Bobcat Goldsworth's bullshit. Bullshit. Nazwan Sabli, my personal favorite TV shows that have ended are The Wire, The Shield, The Leftovers, Breaking Bad, and Arrested Development. Well, the way that, in the meantime, if we do get lists, what we'll do is go through one of those lists and pick one of those shows outside of it. I would pick The Shield. You ever watch The Shield?
The Shield, no. That's another one that...
The Shield I got really into The Shield. Michael Chiklis.
Marshall Weeks donated $20. Greatest TV show of all time is The Sopranos because it's a mobster show like none other. Tony going to therapy is a great premise, and it's a show me and my mom bond over. Also freaking out over the finale thinking my cable went out.
Let me see. Speaking of which, Ellis is watching The Sopranos right now. Because let's see. I want to see what
he's just started it.
he's on. He's either on season 1 or season 2. I want to see if he's able to. If he's able to do it, I'll bring him in. I'm gonna text him. But Sopranos, that was a great, Marshall. It was a phenomenal Schmobot there, because that's exactly that's what we're talking about, and that it was a different show. The Sopranos. It was a very different show. And it reminded the family part of it, not the gangster part, obviously, but the family part of it reminded me of a lot of families that I knew in New York. I mean, they were Jersey family, but they reminded me of a lot of families that I knew. So, you know, it was one of my favorite shows for sure. I think that season 1, 2, and 3 are the best. Starts to go downhill a little bit, in my personal opinion. It got a little more dull because I think David Chase was trying to buck the norm of what everyone wanted, and he was going to do it his way, and he was going to go super artiste with it. And there's stuff that, you know, like I was really looking forward to something with Feach Lamana. Although, what happened? Did you watch Sopranos?
Oh yeah.
So Richie Aprile in season 2 is one of the best like foils that Tony has to deal with, and he's not even the one that takes Richie out. No, I don't want to spoil it, but somebody else does. And I know we're not spoiling a 20-year-old show. But anyway, then when Feach comes in, it's like he's been down this road before, and instead of kind of getting all the adjutant and stuff that he had from Richie, he goes. So I understood where they were going with that. I still wanted to see like stuff. There's a lot of stuff that happened that I still love the show. I think for me, if I'm going to put my top 3 shows out of Breaking Bad, Sopranos, and The Wire, I'm going Breaking Bad, The Wire, and then Sopranos.
Okay, then I'm gonna have to watch The Wire. That has to be. We just did Breaking Bad. You know,
you've never seen any of The Wire?
I've never seen any of The Wire. I don't think Lonnie did Sopranos. I think that one I did solo.
I watched 5 seasons of The Wire in like 2 weeks.
Wow,
it was nuts. Well, I was temping it.
Jonathan Caro donated $22. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Jonathan.
To get it out of the way, The Sopranos is my favorite TV show of all time. But today I'll talk comedy.
Right.
The Office transcended comedy in terms of the documentary aspect with everyday work life. Can't wait for Space Force.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to Space Force also.
Eric donated $20.
How are you? It's
Might
nice
be
to see
the
you.
only one saying this, but the Clone Wars is top 5 for me.
No, you're not.
I grew up with the prequels and love the clones. With the series, I finally got to see the Clone Wars after a just a lit preview in Attack of the Clones. So many great moments in SW.
I don't think you're not the only person. There's going to be people.
Nazwan Sabely donated $20. Sorry, Kristian, I sent both my Streamlabs donations through lists before you asked us to mention why. Glad you were going to mention The Shield. For me, it has the best ending for a TV show.
It does. So I wasn't sorry, Nazwan. No, don't apologize. It was on me. I didn't explain that before we started. So The Shield, it absolutely did. It had different things and good lead ups and good arcs.
Donated $20.
You guys are crushing today.
One show that I love is Hogan's Heroes.
Shit.
I know it was made 40 years before I was born, but watching the reruns with my dad when I was younger helped me connect with his love of history. It still holds up today as a hilarious show. I
love that. Thank you, Jill. Isn't that? But that's true though. Aren't there shows that you watch with your pops that like, always like Cheers to me? Cheers is one that always reminds me of my dad. That and Happy Days.
Yeah,
those are 2 shows I watched.
Cops.
Those are Cops with your dad.
Oh yeah,
it's amazing.
we
of course you did. Because guess what? You know what, you motherfucker? You knew it because your daddy knew that one day you'd be in the back of the car because you got too drunk. You fucking you invalid. You know what you did. You know what you did.
Bad boys. We run in the living room. Oh, what you gonna do?
That's right.
What you gonna do? And MASH with both of my parents. That was like the show. MASH was the one. And again, I think I mentioned before we watched the finale. Tear in our eye.
I never got into MASH.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
I don't. It probably. Yeah, I don't even. I honestly, it's like I don't know. They probably watched it more than I did, and I would pop in because, of course, as a kid, when you had one television, you didn't get to watch anything you wanted.
It's like my life now. When I go in to watch, you know, what was terrible was that although I told you I watched a little of that the Bachelor Where Your Heart Is or whatever the fuck it was called, the music one.
Oh yeah,
I watched a little of it, and like I was like, okay, wait. It's not bad because my wife was watching. I'm like, it's not bad because there's actually these people are actually talented, unlike the other shows that they do. Right? There's like talented people, and the songs are great. But they kept the way that they eliminated people was stupid. It was like the best singer had one bad performance, and they let some jagoff who was on season 12 of The Bachelor, and a couple other people vote them off. And I'm like, this is dumb. Like, and this one guy at the end, he's like, I don't know if I love you yet. Oh, you don't think you love her after 2 weeks? Yeah. Sing the fucking song, stupid, and win. And then when they go home, I told my wife, like, I'm not watching this anymore. This is ridiculous.
Do you think The Bachelor needed that extra? Like, I mean, weren't they bigger, or were the numbers falling on them?
No, they didn't have any. I am not gonna ever ever tell anybody when they have that show's been on for like 25 years, whatever it is, and they have all these secondary shows. I'm not going to tell you that you shouldn't try to, if your audience wants to see more material while you don't have a show on, because first of all,
Jenny donated $20. I have many favorite TV shows, but I really got invested in Doctor Who.
Yeah.
The idea of traveling through time and space and the Doctor while flawed helping wherever he or she goes are why I love it. You also get to see how different actors portray the Doctor.
I'm so glad that we asked you. I love seeing
David Mikula donated $20.
What this means to you people.
One of my favorite shows is Spartacus. The dialogue alone makes it watchable. My battle with cancer has made it more special since the original actor Andy Whitfield passed away from the same one I'm fighting. You guys help me every day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the very nice words, and that's it's humbling. Thank you. It's very it's amazing how certain things, whether it's TV, music, movies, whatever it might be, that it speaks to us. It allows us in certain times where we're feeling things, and I mean sadness, obviously, and dealing with something is like that. It's you find that's why they call it escapism. Yeah, right. And that's what. So I'm glad that this stupid show is able to do that for you.
And we're not we're not like drinking or out. We're not like, you're not placating your feelings.
Punch Fart Box donated $20. I mentioned Seinfeld and his Streamlabs, which y'all get to soon, but it's on my list because it's my mom's favorite show. We'd watch reruns and laugh at the jokes like it's our first time watching them. We quote random lines to each other all the time.
Awesome.
I just love. I never. Anytime I try to get a little serious,
I know it's the best. Tongue punch.
Pussy Lover 69 jumps in or something. It's just like, hey, you know what? Hey, get it.
You ain't nice try.
You're not gonna try to make
the reason,
legitimate.
I also realize anytime Professor Crow starts going on a rant, people start doing more Schmoebots because they want her to tell them to shut the fuck
They're
up.
Sadists.
They really are.
Butterinus donated $20.
There you go.
Clone Wars is some of my favorite Star Wars. I prefer Tartakovsky's version better over Philinus, but just by a little. Kristian, did you like Tartakovsky's version of the Clone Wars?
I did. I can't say that I liked it better than Filoni's because Filoni had 7 seasons to work with over a very short Tartakovsky one. I liked very much what he did, and I thought it tied into the movies incredibly. I loved it. I loved it. And I wish they would have kept some of it canon, but they obviously didn't from a lot of the stuff that they I mean, at that point, Asajj Ventress is still evil. I think by the time we get to Revenge of the Sith, and she's not around in this other version. So, but it's great. It is great. There's so many great shows. There's so many great suggestions from you guys. Keep them coming. And I don't know. So I'm just going to reread some of the ones too, because I don't know on the last stream if it got cut off or not. I don't know if it was this stream or last stream. I apologize. Bobcat Goldsweet birthday says today is not Bobcat Goldsweet birthday. Nazwan Sabli, who talked about before, The Wire, The Shield, The Leftovers, Breaking Bad, and Arrested Development. I had told you before, The Shield, I thought that Michael Chiklis' character was really, I mean, he's played it so well because he's actually, did you ever meet Michael Chiklis?
No. Seems like a good dude.
Down-to-earth, just East Coast dude, really freaking chill. I remember him from, obviously, The Commish, and he played John Belushi. Remember that?
No.
Hotel Nerd donated $20. Going to cheat and say that my favorite TV brand is his Arrowverse, even though there are some misses aka Batgirl. Another cheat is the web series Dragon Ball Z Abridged. It's a hilarious take on a great anime.
I'm also looking forward to seeing a lot of these suggestions because maybe this, like I mentioned with Airbender, there's some stuff in here that I want to hear, like your reasons why you love them, and maybe if I never watched them before, you can convince me, because there's other shows out there, like, and I'm sure someone's going to mention Better Call Saul. I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
And I'm telling you, man, I'm like every time I'm browsing through Netflix, my
Adam_Collins donated $20. Twin Peaks is my favorite when including Showtime's Twin Peaks: The Return from 2017. Twin Peaks inspired this file's Lost True Detective, The Killing Broadchurch, and many others. The original is great, and the 2017 Return is David Lynch's masterpiece.
See, I haven't seen The Return. I know that Thad Williams was a big.
Lonnie watched the first one with, like, I was popping in and out. She watched it without me. I mean, she was totally into it. It's and I like odd things, but I guess it's something you have to start from the beginning. You can't pop into because it is strange, man. It's Lynch, but
Lynch. He's always off the wall. But there's some great ones. You know, someone else. I saw someone post a screenshot, and I'll count a miniseries for sure because if it's a miniseries, it's one season, and to me that counts as great television. Band of Brothers.
Oh, yeah,
dude, Band of Brothers is some of the best television that's ever been put on the little screen, man. It is so good. It's got like it feels like Saving Private Ryan on TV, and if you guys have never seen it, holy shit, dude. I mean, it's another one. But anyway, I was talking about Better Call Saul. My finger every time it's on the remote, and I'm like, I almost hit play every time. It's not a matter of not wanting to watch it as much as like, can I invest?
Yeah.
Can I invest in this? Because
that's a lot of these. It's like you go, what? How many seasons did they make? You're like The Wire, like
Wire's
Corey
5.
Rodriguez donated $20. Breaking Bad is my favorite show. Seeing Walter discover this outlet that provided meaning for his life and ultimately embracing the consequences that resulted all contributed to a character arc that many shows strive to recreate.
I couldn't agree with you more. I could not agree with you more. That's why it's my favorite show. It is just that and The Wire, those two shows, the reason why I like them so much is because they're consistent. And before Breaking Bad came into my life, that was what I would say about The Wire all the time. It's just the most, as much as I love The Sopranos, The Wire is just so consistent all the way through. And some people give season 2 a hard time. I don't. I think it fits in very well, and I think it's great. But the Breaking Bad, though, from start to finish is just like, it's like 5 seasons of one movie.
Yeah. And to come into that so late after hype, and
still paying off.
Still pay off, and still not, and still not know what the show was about. Like,
you watched it last couple months ago, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was like we thought it was one thing. We're like, oh, this is totally different than what we were expecting. You know, we thought it was all just kind of the the drug aspect, that the evil underbelly kind of thing. No. We didn't know about the character arc and all this stuff.
But what he did,
but
maybe we're just
why he did it.
$20. Hey guys, one of my favorite shows of all time is Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I grew up without my parents because they both died when I was young, and Will Smith helped me grieve through laughter. The episode with his dad leaving him again always gets me.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. It's like shows. It's for
Josh
some
Barnett
reason
donated $20.
Yeah.
Take 2 now with an explanation. Chuck was simply perfect for me. The chemistry of the main 3 actors was unmatched. As a hopeless romantic, I've never been more emotionally invested in a relationship than Chuck and Sarah, and the finale left me in tears.
I think I started that one and we didn't finish that. That's the one with the Shazam fella, right?
Yeah, Zachary Levi.
See, I can get somewhere. It just
you just need help. You need a teammate. So
I just lean in. I go, it's the Shazam fella.
I never got into Chuck though. I remember I remember when that show came out. Ellis and I. That was when we started on Current TV before we started the Schmoes, and Chuck was one of the pilots we watched. I said, "All right." I didn't know what they were going for, but people really love that show. I really love that show.
Yeah, I remember liking. I don't remember following.
I never really got into it. Yeah. Sweaty Ben.
Hey
guys, happy Hump Day. Here are my 5 top shows. I got Breaking Bad, Lost. So I'm talking about Lost yet. Seinfeld, The Office, and Game of Thrones. What I thought Lost did that was so special was it succeeded in this kind of cinematic tone on network television. Like, obviously...
Ben Reiner donated $20. Hey guys, I sent you my top 5. Y'all get to it, but I want to talk about Lost.
There we go.
I know a lot of people have problems with it, but I love it because it's all of the characters.
Yeah.
Every one of those people have great arc, from Jack to Locke to Ben. They're awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I loved the show. I think that it's like
Prince Tet wasn't promised donated $20. Game of Thrones is my favorite show.
Horrible show.
I do not care what people say about the end. It was still better than most TV. It made politics can't miss TV. It was so cinematic it seemed like a movie each week. The drama and action were unequal on television.
I don't disagree with you. I was not one of those haters. I actually didn't mind the last season.
I don't think you could have ended that and pleased most people.
No, but I do have my like my arguments about it. I think that they ended it too fast. I think that they crammed in too much in 6 episodes. I think they could have either stretched it out to more episodes or they could have stretched it out to another season. They didn't want to do that. I just always find it laughable when people go, they blame Benioff and Weiss for that season, but they don't give them credit for the other stuff. And granted, it was George R.R. Martin stuff that they were adapting, and that's what they were better at doing. They were better at taking what he did.
SB_Stewart donated $20. I love Futurama. Great characters, lots of comedy, but it also had heart. The end of the episode Jurassic Park still brings a tear to my eye.
Yeah. I never watched that show, did you?
I did.
Futurama?
Yeah,
You did
yeah.
like
I popped in and out. It's one of those ones that's funny, and it's like I don't know. I think it's like South Park or something. You can just kind of watch one here and there. There's no through line. I don't believe. I could be wrong.
But going back to Game of Thrones, though, it's like so. They did that very well, whether they adapted his stuff, and that clearly was the best stuff that they did. But they were responsible for that. They were responsible for getting that. It's not easy to adapt stuff in general, and they did that. And I don't think they get enough credit for that. I think that I understand that there's a lot of stuff that happens in the last season, why you would be upset about certain arcs, because it seemed very different from other things. And I think it was a bit sloppy. I still liked it, but I thought it was a bit sloppy. But I just thought that they got that backlash.
Peanut Butter Anus donated $20.
Hey.
Even though I'm only 26, I love watching Brady Bunch, Gilligan's Island, and Adam West's Batman. I watched all those shows with my grandparents as a wee lad. Adam West's Batman got me into Batman. The shark repellent bat spray always make me laugh.
It's the best. I still want to know how he came up with that name.
That was in the film, right? That was in their was that in an
was in the
episode?
film.
Yeah. The shark
No,
repellent.
I want to know how he picked Peanut Butter Anus as their name. I really want to know. It's either a funny story or a disturbing story.
Well, and some of these are some very sweet people at times
Yes.
too. And most of the time,
Every time Peanut Butter Anus puts in it's always like a good. It's like what it was a nice comment about how he discovered Batman.
hey, thank you for helping me with my depression. Well, Pussy Lips 24.
But even same thing. It's always, it's always like Fred who says like the horrible stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's before we move on.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to let Brett also, speaking of which, I'm gonna turn the Schmoebot off here for a second. So just to let everybody know, Brett, you had a couple things you wanted to talk about here and there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've talked about it a lot, but I mean, a lot of people are feeling stress right now. Their anxiety, chronic pain, trouble sleeping at least once a week. Well, you're not alone, and now more than ever, you are not alone. So personally, I even with being able to sleep in and stuff like that, I think I'm staying up too late. I'm letting a lot of these things affect me. And so what you need to do is you need to discover Feels like I did. It's a CBD delivery that is delivered directly to your doorstep. It naturally helps you reduce stress, anxiety, pain, and sleeplessness. CBD, if anybody doesn't know, is a derivative of the marijuana plant. It's not psychotropic or psychoactive. It's more for pain relief and things like that. It's not going to get you all high, man. So you just take a few drops of the Feels under your tongue, and you feel the difference in a few minutes. If you're new to it, they offer a free CBD hotline and text message support to help guide you through your personal experience. Feels works naturally to help you feel better. There's no high, hangover, or addiction. Join the Feels community and get Feels delivered to your door every month. You'll save money with every order, and you can pause at any time. And I always bring this up. It isn't in their notes, but like I always keep it right here to show it. It's like again, all the other companies, they don't tell you how much to take. This thing tells you how to dial it in, and that's very important with stuff like this that are more experimental. So it's making me feel better every day, and it can help you become a member of Feels by going to feels.com/SEN, and you'll get 50% off your first order with free shipping. That's FEALS.com/SEN and become a member and get 50% off automatically taken off your first order with free shipping. Feels.com/SEN. I wish they had a fun little drip it and dip it or something.
Dip it and dip it at the end. Well, I put the not only if you're listening on audio, you can also in the description of this video. It's the first thing.
And that one you don't go to the Feels website. That one I was helping my mom. She likes to use CBD, and I was helping her try to find it.
Yeah.
You actually type in. You got to type in Feels. I think is the easiest way to get to it by typing the /SEN, and it automatically
goes right to it.
Puts the promo on
great.
and puts it in.
Yeah, the link is in the description with the actual SEN thing also. So, all right, getting back, the Schmoebot is on. It's back on. Turned it back on for you guys. So I want to get back into Lost here because, like I said, the cinematic thing that Lost did was on network television was pretty amazing. The problem that Lost had was that it was on network television.
Yeah.
Was that they would have to push to like 22 episodes. That show should have been 12 episodes to 13 episodes a season. And imagine if Lost was on like Netflix.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, that show, I forget how many seasons it went, 7 or 8 or something. It could have went like
Really?
12. I think it could have went shorter seasons because season 2, I remember the thing with Lost, which I don't disagree with the guy who put in that Schmoebot was, it was very heavy on character, but it had a lot of filler episodes, and it had to. Mm-hmm. It had to when you're the showrunners and you're these people and the network saying, okay, look, we're crushing, we're doing so good. Write another one. Here's more episodes. You're like, I only have so much in my head. Maybe we'll do it about these two idiots, and then they got buried in the sand.
Yeah.
It's like, what? It's like there was too much of that. But I understand why they had a lot of that. That was hard to do for what they were doing.
The toughest thing with Lost for me was that it was them constantly telling you, no, it's not this, it's not this, and then at the end of the finale, they go, oh well, it was actually what you thought it was,
right?
You know?
Right.
And also, I think I could be wrong. This Lost was one of the last ones I think that I watched without binging. Like, it was the last thing that we tuned in every single
Corey
week.
Rodriguez donated $20.
Okay.
Special shout out to Vikings. Not necessarily one of my top shows, but still full of amazing battles and memorable characters.
Yeah.
This show seems to be left out of the conversation often, but I definitely recommend for anyone who hasn't seen it.
That's what I watched with the wife.
Vikings.
The Viking.
I've never been so confused
Okay.
by a comment in my life. I've never been confused by it.
Is it?
Chris Thorne says, you guys really need to start putting this stuff in the description of all your videos so we don't have to ask people for it. What the fuck does that mean? The name of the show is What Are the Greatest Television Shows of All Time? Can't be that. He can't be talking about that. If he's talking about what you're just talking about with Feels, it's the first thing you see. What are you talking about? What?
Well, Chris, tell us what you're talking
about. What do you
before
mean?
We tear you a new asshole.
Like, yeah, maybe I'm just not understanding. Like, what do you mean?
Before Professor Crow.
Crow almost came out, but I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. Chris, what the fuck are you talking about? Because I look at that comment and maybe
he missed really time. He's scrambling right now.
Maybe it's something else. You guys really need to start putting this stuff in the
Orange
description
Cassidy
of all your
donated
videos.
$20.
I don't understand.
I was
what he
late
means.
to Avatar: The Last Airbender. Cut a holiday marathon on Nicktoons and got hooked. Couldn't wait to see how it finished, so I rented the last season's DVDs from Blockbuster. That was the last thing I rented from Blockbuster before it closed.
So that's been around that long?
He says I'm talking about the links for your affiliate codes. It's in the description of the video. It's literally in this. It's the first thing you see, Chris. He says I'm talking about the links for your affiliate codes. It's the first thing you see in the description of the video. Become a member today by going to www.feels.com/SEN. It's literally the first thing that you say, my man. Anyway,
but you should do it, Kristian.
What's that?
Put it in the description.
Twice? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Listen. Maybe Chris is taking the stuff that does make you.
I think he's joking around.
Maybe he's
just being sarcastic.
Maybe he's got the regular THC going. He's like, I don't see in the
oh
description,
man, I was looking at the other video, man. I was looking at yesterday's, man.
Hey, you guys really should stop having your heads morphing during the show.
I'm sorry about that. I mean, before today, I was asking about the code. Oh, I see. Yes.
Did we miss one?
No. That's fair. Thank you, Chris, for explaining. Before today, I was asking about the code
Blade
for over a
Hawk
weekend. I couldn't
donated
find it.
$30.
So that's why I started putting it in the description.
One of my favorite recent shows is Cobra Kai. I was not looking forward to it at all when I saw the trailer. However, when I saw the series, it was great. The character development was great for both old and new. I can't wait for season 3 to release.
I haven't seen it. I got to see that one.
Amazing. And I agree with everything.
And that's
YouTube? First of all, Chris, all good, my man. So that was,
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying. He's talking about from the past. He's talking about in the past for shows. And to his credit, they had not been in there. We started putting him in there over the last couple of weeks. So thanks, my brother. All good. I like conversations like that. But look,
but you were this close.
I thought he was talking about the topic of the show.
I see it in your eyes.
Right. I thought it was the topic of the show.
You got it queued up.
Yeah, you're like grabbing the Rottweiler by like the head. It's easy.
Wait, let him.
And he did. And he's not wrong. He's right. He's right. The last couple before like a week ago, that they were harder to find. But I wanted to make sure.
Well, what'd you say? What'd you say? No, what'd you say about my wife?
No, it wasn't your wife. I was talking about your sandwich. The sandwich looks moldy.
Are you looking at me?
No. I was just at the time my shoe. Yeah, I know. Poor Chris. But the what is it? The fucking Cobra Kai. Same thing that dude said. I remember coming out, and I like these guys a lot. Both John Horowitz and Hayden and Josh, and when I heard that they were doing Cobra Kai, I was like, I like these guys, but do we need a Karate Kid show?
Yeah, that one immediately, I was like, oh, come on.
It was done like
that's what you guys are saying.
It was their Star Wars, and they've said this.
I have to see this.
They treat it with such respect, and it's like you will love this show.
Yeah.
You will love this show. It is I guarantee you that after you watch season 1, you'll be hooked.
Yeah.
Season 3 is coming out pretty soon. So
and that's really how do I get it was started on YouTube, or is it something that I couldn't get? Is it HBO? Why haven't I watched this? Because I don't. Is it on Hulu? Is it on Vudu? Is it on Gulu? It
was YouTube, and you only do it was like YouTube Prime or whatever the hell it's called.
Okay.
But you could get the free month.
I see. That was the thing. I think with me, sometimes if I guess I'm like your fans that don't want to do the Twitch, but I mean the Twitch is free. But if I have to sign up for something new,
but you get a month free and then you cancel it.
Yeah,
I understand that though. But it was a YouTube exclusive. But
yeah, I was a kid head, as they say in the business.
I posted something yesterday about the Twitch thing, and again going after someone like Chris, who explained himself. This one guy's
Little Kid Lover donated $20. Can't say it's the GOAT, but my favorite TV show on now is This Is Us. Not a big fan of family dramas, but this show does it for me. The emotional moments do pull at the heartstrings. Score is great. Wonder if shows will use this pandemic in storylines.
I'm sure that they will.
That one I couldn't. I mean, my mom and my sister watched it, binged it when my sister was visiting one time, and they're telling me about the show. I'm like, I can't. This is too heavy for me.
Yeah, too heavy. I can't really do.
There's too much heavy stuff in the world right now.
You know what show was decent? I wouldn't put it as a greatest of all time show, but the Affair. The first season, The Affair was really fucking good. Then it started going. The last season wasn't so great. The ending was not good at all. Only time you pay on Twitch is if you want to support the streams like YouTube does. I posted.
Peanut Butter Anus donated $20.
There he is.
In college, one of my roommates had a love of peanut butter. He normally had 4 or 5 jars in the cabinet. One night I walked in and saw him with peanut butter on his bunnies, about to get it ate out by his girlfriend. We call him Peanut Butter Bunnies ever since.
I wouldn't say it's peanut butter bunnies from what they said in the
My Anus Bleeding donated $20. Both me and my fiancé work 60-hour weeks opposite of each other. And I work almost completely alone all day. Yeah. The conversational style of your show makes me feel so much less alone. I seriously owe you so much for all the sanity you give me with your craze.
Well, thank you. I can't wait to write you all thank you notes. Dear, my anus is bleeding. Thank you for your kind donation.
So very nice. I'm glad that we could bring joy to you.
At all.
Please take care of your anus. Oh, it's really good.
Oh, he had a little peanut butter on his bunnies.
His bunnies. What have you looked at and you go, what? Is that what I said? I did. Bunnies. Fuck.
It says peanut butter anus, but it won't.
I wonder what
balls.
it says. I gotta
it's
look.
Balls, right?
I don't know. I gotta look, but it's so funny. I'll try to get this story out. If I don't get it out, then I'll move on. But I had posted something in the Facebook group, on the Schmoedown Facebook group, about who's excited. That was it. Yeah. Who's excited about tomorrow? And everybody, 98% was like, man, you can't wait. One guy goes, well, considering I don't do Twitch, there's nothing to be excited about.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Why are you gonna be that guy? It's like, I don't mind you if you can't watch it, you can't watch it. If you don't want to switch over, then you don't want to switch over. But don't be that guy. He's like, oh, I wanted to move to different platforms, but I'm not gonna hunt for anything. I'm like,
hunt?
Like you just have to click the button. That's all you have to do. Like it's like.
Are you 90?
But I understand. But I do understand. Like if it's one of these things where it's like, okay, listen. For example, the Patreon show that we do for you and Kate.
Yeah.
If someone says, look, I really would love to watch that show. I love Brent and Kate. I just can't do it right now. Financially, I just can't do it. I get it.
Yeah, you're hurting our jobs, but that's cool.
But I also understand if it's a matter of them saying, it's not for me.
Yeah.
There was another guy who was just like, I'm a Star Wars. I'm going to wait for Inner Geekdom. That's more my style. That's respectful.
100%.
That's an intelligent conversation, and that's not like this stamp your feet type of I'm not doing it thing. I just don't understand that.
If it doesn't cost you, if it costs me money, because there's so many things. I got BBC I'm paying for my wife. I'm to get her period pieces and things like that, and
Yeah. Well, that was I said this is. I mean, I'm not going to hunt for free content.
Yeah, I'm not going to hunt for something.
I couldn't believe it. I thought it was a joke. I was like, this is guy fucking around, kidding around. He was dead serious. I was like, it's
a hunt where you have the name of the place to go to.
I don't get it. So it's
I'm not going to decipher this name of a website that I go to and type.
I don't get it. Whatever. All right, let's get back into it here. We got a lot of great stuff from you guys.
Peanut butter anus donated $20. They switched and used the bunnies on me, lol.
Oh,
you still can't do it.
But they'll do anus maybe because it's together. If it was peanut butter anus, I wonder if they would. Well, anus is medical.
I don't know.
I think that's why if he was peanut butter butthole, I bet they would. It'd be peanut butter bunnies or something. But
maybe. I don't know.
I want to figure out this algorithm right now.
All right, let's see. By the way, as we get into this, talking about Twitch and everything too, do not forget. This is not that either. Where'd they go?
Oh,
there it is.
Look at that.
So today, guys, 3 p.m. PST. This is going to be massive. It's going to be really good here. You got Josh the Jester Quevedo versus Andres Ace Cabrera. Rockstars versus Swag. It's going to be a battle. It is going to be a battle today, and the points are on the board. It's going to be really good. It starts today at 3 p.m. It's going to be live on Twitch. Come and join us. Free. If you don't want to hunt for it, what you could do is go and follow me on Twitter or Schmoedown. We will tweet out the link or go to the Facebook group, and all you have to do is click on the link, and you can watch it.
All right. That seems that looks a little hard. So you're going to give them the link to click on.
And I got to actually click on it and watch it.
What, you send me on a wild goose chase like that?
You mean I got to follow something?
I don't know Josh Quevedo, but I know Ace isn't a fucking angel. And I want.
He is an angel.
I love that kid.
Yeah, he's good. Someone says peanut butter ass hat's about to be my new.
My anus is bleeding. I've been going through a rough time lately.
Yeah. So someone says, "Wow, now I have to go to your Twitter." Seriously?
Yeah. Oh Jesus!
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, "That's not real." I thought it was a joke. I was dead serious.
I've tried to make this Ricky Gervais comments. I tried to do it last night on Hotel Nerd. I tried to do it yesterday, and I'm sure it's going to get interrupted. But he says things like that is like walking up to a sign that says like free piano lessons.
Yeah.
But I don't want piano lessons.
Right.
And tearing the sign down and ripping it up.
I couldn't believe it. I said it's free. Like you just have to do this. You just, if you want to watch it, if you don't, it's like if you don't want to watch it, then you don't have to watch it. But if you want to watch it, but you refuse to because it's not where you want it to be, come on, what the fuck, man?
But I don't want to burn a flag. You don't have to. That was an old Bill Hicks one.
Yeah. All right, let's Let's move on over here. We got a lot of comments coming in here too. Nas wants to bleed. Thank you for that one. Sweaty Ben. Hey guys, happy Hump Day. We did that one already. Sorry. Nas Juan again. My favorite or ongoing TV shows: Killing Eve, Ozark. Ozark's up there for me, man.
Both of those.
It's consistent. It's 3 seasons already. It's really good. Money Heist. Never saw that. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and I have to say, after 20 years, I'm still a regular watcher of Survivor. I remember when Survivor was like, I remember when it was like hot shit. It was like 2000. It was like the first time it came out.
I think I could do well on Survivor. I don't think people believe this.
Didn't they change? I think you'd do well also, knowing you.
Because I could snap into like
survival mode.
Yeah.
Didn't they like change the rules of how it works now? Because it used to be about like, because it was all reality TV show shit where they would vote off like the. It was like strategy.
Yeah, you had like you want to be in,
now, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen it in forever. Yeah, but it's like, do you want to be, in cahoots with me?
Cahoots. Adrian, hey crew, best TV show in my opinion is Sopranos. Just got done with my 3rd rewatch. My girlfriend's first.
Wow.
It's not just a mafia show. It's a deeper themes, mortality, mental health, spirituality. It laid the groundwork for every show. It certainly did. That's the thing though. Without Sopranos, you don't have Breaking Bad. You certainly don't, because you led with a character and showed that you could lead with this character. He was not the hero. And another show that we don't mention that certainly wasn't the traditional kind of family man that everybody thought was Married with Children.
Yeah,
it's one of my favorite shows of all time. Al Bundy was the anti at the time, and again, this is nothing what's going on today. I'm talking about the perception of what Bill Cosby was back with Theodore Huxtable. He was like the ultimate dad. And it was one of the most popular shows on television. And then you had
he made that channel. I mean, Fox, or I thought it was Fox.
You're talking about Married with Children.
Married with Children, yeah. Like they would have been gone.
Yeah, it was their first real big kind of show that they were doing. Yeah. And it was when the Fox network was starting.
David Wilson donated $20. Zack Snyder's Justice League officially announced.
Wow.
Let's see. Let's check that out.
Now, how much is this going to cost to get this?
I told you it was going to happen, though. It's going to be on the Cinemax thing. Zack Snyder.
Cinemax.
Snyder.
Skinemax? HBO Max? Is that
so?
What
let's see. So the Snyder.
Josh Barnett donated $20.
Hey.
Sorry to go off topic, but breaking news: Snyder Cut just announced for 2021 on HBO Max on the Man of Steel watch party. Time to see if it's worth the hype.
It's a very smart move. It's a very smart move to finally do it. It's a very smart move.
100%.
If people have been talking about this thing forever.
Embrace Your Geekness donated $20. Just got here and missed the first hour. And I have one major question that has to be answered. Is today Bobcat Goldthwait's birthday or not?
It's not.
Also, TV show, Lost.
Yeah. But going back to Zack Snyder.
I think Zack Snyder started COVID so he could hold off to release that.
It's true, but that's a big story, man. It's a big story in this space.
How dare he say that?
I wish they would have done it at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
But it's a big.
That's all right.
It's a big Zack Snyder Justice League. So let's see. They're saying it right now. Zack Snyder will release the Snyder Cut of Justice League on HBO Max. So this is the report from Variety. Well, you knew that was coming when you had Jason Momoa talk about it today.
Little Kid Lover donated $20. The Office is great too. Michael is awesome.
Yeah.
Best boss on TV.
I agree.
Did you watch the British version first? I started with that before the other one. A friend of mine said, "Oh, you gotta watch." He gave me the DVDs or whatever, and it takes a while to get into the accents or whatever, but hilarious.
Yeah.
And basically the first season or so is kind of, it's pretty close, and then they went further, but the Ricky Gervais one, you got to go back and watch it.
I know, I hear great things about it, but I never did. But going back into this Justice League thing, so the mythical unreleased version of the
do you want to crash your computer? Say no.
So I know I should. What's happening? The mythical unreleased version of the 2017 superhero film Justice League will finally see the light of day on Warner Media's HBO Max in 2021. After years of campaigning from talent and comic book fans, the studio behind the DC films, Ensemble Justice League, will offer original director Zack Snyder's cut of the film, which saw Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, The Flash, Cyborg, and Superman share the same screen. Snyder announced the news on a live Q&A Wednesday following a virtual screening of his Henry Cavill-led Superman film, The Man of Steel. So Snyder completed the major work of Justice League in 2016, but stepped away from post-production and editing in light of a family tragedy. Warner Brothers brought in the Avengers helmer Joss Whedon to finish the job, and varying styles of both men led many fans to believe Snyder had envisioned a much darker take on the project. Budgeted at a reported $300 million, the film grossed over $650 million worldwide and did not resonate with critics, 40% on Rotten Tomatoes. The DC salvage was largely perceived as a miss in comparison to the juggernaut of Marvel Studios, and led to a creative pivot away from the tightly connected cinematic universe in favor of a far more loosely assembled collection of comic book adaptations. Talking about the Joker and everything else too. Release the Snyder Cut became a massive grassroots rallying cry, an example of how fandom can seize hold of a franchise despite all efforts by the studio to control it, especially online. Then in November of 2019, Gal Gadot kicked the campaign into overdrive by tweeting the hashtag with a grayscale still from Justice League with Affleck, and Snyder himself following suit, sending fans into a Twitter frenzy. Even Aquaman Jason Momoa called for a darker film to drop as recently as May 19, 2020. Is this so? I thought this was today. So maybe maybe this is the older one. I thought this was today.
We're just sitting around doing nothing. Fucking release the Snyder Cut. Am I right?
Exactly. Release the Snyder Cut.
Release the fucking Snyder Cut. You know what I mean? Like, what are we waiting for? There's some goodies in there. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out there. So hopefully, generally the shit I put out there comes true.
So I don't know when that was put out there. Snyder himself.
That's a good-looking dude, man.
Yeah, no, seriously.
I'm sorry.
I know. Yeah.
To look like him,
and
man.
It's built like a brick shithouse, too.
God.
Snyder himself admitted that his own cut of the film existed, but the onus was on Warner Brothers to release it. While plans to release the Snyder Cut theatrically never took shape, its value for HBO Max is undeniable. It is a no-brainer, and why I didn't understand why it wasn't announced earlier. Maybe they were putting together this deal. With the way that people have been going crazy for this thing and all the stars coming out, it'd be a stupid business decision not to put this thing out. And who doesn't want to see it?
Explain. I'm sorry to be just because
Yeah.
I know a lot of. I don't want to put people on wild
No,
goose
go ahead.
chases, but is HBO one thing and HBO Max, or
I think it's doing they're combining to do a full.
so that
service.
you would just go there to get.
I
all
would
your
most
HBO.
likely cancel the HBO Go that I have and just
Yeah.
get HBO Max. If you can do it that particular way, that's what I would do.
Yeah, remember back in the day when Cinemax was just where you got it was called it Skinemax.
Nudies,
and
yeah. There's that. But I do want to see it.
Yeah, I'd be down. I didn't hate the other one, and if it can get better, because again, that wasn't anything I had I didn't have a horse in that race, if you will, So I didn't hate it, but if it could be better.
Yep. Let me just change this real quick. And so yeah, man. So I think it's smart. I think it is really, really smart. So anyway, we'll find out. 2021 is when that happens, and let's move on in because we got to go back to this stuff. Hey. All right, let's do it. J. Scotty for real wanted to give some love to Letterkenny. Jared Kiso stars in and created the show as a good old Canadian. I think he's an ideal candidate to play Wolverine. Wheel Snipe Sally Boys.
Oh.
Tongue Punch the Fart Box comes in. All-time favorite TV show is The OC. So you must really love Bonnie. I don't know why a show about rich, young, white, privileged teens resonated with a black kid who grew up middle class and in the hood, but it did. Maybe because I saw some of me in the two leads, Seth and Ryan. Possibly. I've never watched that show, though. I think I tried to watch it like the first couple. I didn't like the lead for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I just never really got into it. So, did you watch that show?
No. See, no, it didn't that kind of. What was it close to? It was like some of those. Was it like 90210-ish kind of a?
Yeah,
feel
it was kind of like that,
yeah.
but a little darker. I think because of I don't know. 90210 got a little dark though too, so
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that. And then
Doggen donated $20.
thank you, Doug.
The Leftovers on HBO is
great.
one of the best shows of the past decade.
Yep.
It has a strong element of mystery, but the focus is on the characters and their development coping with a massive life-changing event. Only 3 seasons, but is a must-watch.
I agree with you. It's I was we got into that show, and my wife and I were pretty hooked on it. Have you watched that one?
No, I don't have HBO.
Oh, okay. Well, don't be a dick about it.
Listen, hey.
So that's a good show. That's a really good show, and it is 3 seasons. Great music. It's a very different show, and I thought it had a very satisfying ending. So I would check that show out if you've never seen it before. I think it's an underrated show. I know it's beloved by the people who watch it.
Yeah.
But
this is my old man gripe. Back in the day, everybody could watch every show that was on. That's just there's
a lot of TV.
There's a lot of having to buy this additive and this platform and stuff like that. You got to kind of pick and choose. And I'm never hungry for content with like Hulu and Netflix right now. So it's and maybe I add in on and have Amazon. So it's like
There's a lot of different things you can watch for sure. Jay Scotty for real. Love everything Noah Hawley touches on TV with both first seasons of Fargo and Legion being my favorites. I was disappointed to hear Lucy in the Sky didn't translate as well. Hope he gets another shot at a feature. He was rumored for a Doctor Doom project recently. I remember that when he was rumored for that.
I didn't do Fargo. I love the film. I think
it's Ben Goddard that loves Fargo. People love that show.
Yeah.
People love that show. Really, people swear by that show. Jesus Ortiz, Legion on FX is such a unique show and super creative story. Shout out to RB3, my fellow Legion supporter. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Legion is another one that I hear some stuff about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tim Sim, who put in the Schmoebot, talks about Game of Thrones, we talked about Sopranos. Hotel Nerd, we talked about ER in the West Wing. Lawrence Lease put in the Schmoebot. Thank you. Cody,
Johnny 5 for Life donated $20. Thought I would give some love to 2 of the longest running television shows of all time. The Simpsons and Law and Order Special Victims Unit. 2 great shows for very different reasons, but both extremely consistent.
Which one is funnier?
Well, The Simpsons does it, man.
Oh God, yeah.
The Simpsons.
This is dumped. The Simpsons is still going.
It's
Peanut
still going.
Butter Anus donated $20. Brett, I want to thank you for talking about Great British Bake Off on Netflix. I really enjoy it and a great pick-me-up on dark days.
Thank you.
Also, Friday Night Lights was great television for 5 years. Parenthood is underrated in my opinion.
Parenthood is really good. My wife, before, she loves This Is Us, obviously, but before that was Parenthood, and I watched a couple episodes with her. Didn't watch it as religiously as she did, but yeah, she loved that. But this is horse shit, guys. Horse shit. And almost 1,000 people in here right now, and come on, everybody. We're at 300 likes right now. Let's get to 400. We're going to get to 400 before if you want to hear your damn Schmoebots, if you want to hear your shows, you got to get to 400 likes. We're at 301. Get to 400, and I'll get my own cut of my own balls, and I'll put that on HBO Max. All right, everybody, let's get to 320.
Release the ball cut.
We're at 400. 400. If you want to get a ball cut, then get on over to manscaped.com. All right, everybody. Gonna get on to 400. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. 372. Looking for 400. Come on, hit that like button. Do it now. Come on, everybody. I know that the whole reason you're just waiting for us to do it. Well, motherfuckers, we did it. So let's get to 400. Can we get to 400 with 384? Let's get to 400. If you get to 400, I'll make my own cut. All right, everybody, let's go. Click that button. Shitwads got to get to 400. 400. So, all right. Looks like Jeff Snyder will have to change the name of his show now that there is a real Snyder cut. All right, everybody. 397. Let's get to 400. Mystery Science Theater 3000 is Great Scott's favorite. 400. All right. Great. We did it. Thank you, everybody. You sons of bitches. I mean, I really did that to myself because now you wait for us before you hit like.
And then after the show
Alfredo,
ends,
go fuck yourself. You scumbag. Fucking asshole. People come in here and they say, go fuck yourself, Alfredo.
Yeah.
You shithound.
What?
You just said
don't
something.
Want to repeat it?
Yeah. The fuck is wrong with people?
Oh, I wish I could read that far away.
Yeah.
Or maybe I don't. Maybe I do not.
Yeah. So anyway, let's get on over it. So favorite TV shows out there too. I know, obviously, like we said, I had mentioned. I think my favorite show of all time is Breaking Bad. I think it is easily what Vince Gilligan did out there. He's just one of the more creative minds that have been. I think that's working. So I need to watch. I am going to watch Better Call Saul. I have to.
Yeah, that one seems to be coming up so much. It's one of those ones.
Yeah. All right. Let's see.
Anybody bring up Alias or 24 yet? I remember binging those.
24 is a great. I used to watch 24. I remember when there was something when 24 just came out. We were shooting something with Leaf, and he'd come up with this idea, and it was like this ticking clock, and he was like, I can't, and he's like, fuck. He goes, I can't, because 24 had just come out, and he was all pissed off about it. So, yeah. Anyway, all right, next one. Let's go on over to. We are going to talk. We have David Wilson put in a show about Civistit. Avatar, The Last Airbender is my favorite show. The character relationships, development, some of the best ever. Zuko Redemption is my favorite redemption in any property. Also a Filoni show, so I'd love to see him in charge of Star Wars. Yeah, we talked about that for quite a bit. Tongue Punch comes back in. I want to add Seinfeld, Chappelle Show, Pokemon, Digimon, Modern Family, and Cops. Good ones. I think The Simpsons also someone mentioned before though too. It's amazing how you got to give them so much credit for how long that show's been on the air.
I think it's
Peanut
Digimon.
Butterina donated $20.
Hey.
The Dave Chappelle Show was great. Sadly, it was so short-lived. It's still the best show on Comedy Central. His Prince skit still kills me. Also, Gilmore Girls is great. I watched it with my aunt when she was living.
All right.
I think I saw. I mean, I didn't get into it, but the couple I peeked in on the Gilmore Girls I enjoyed. They brought that one back, right? Did it stick around or
which one?
Gilmore Girls?
Gilmore Girls. I think they brought it back. Yeah, they did.
I know Rory is in Handmaid's Tale, right?
She is
the daughter.
Yeah, yep. That's you watched that Handmaid's Tale.
I love the Handmaid's Tale.
I know you watched that one.
When's that coming back?
I don't have any idea.
Did they shoot it? Please tell me they shot it. It's just
I don't know. Not sure. You gotta ask them. Call them up.
Got to call them up. You know, one of the companies working on the COVID vaccine is called Gilead, which is
Mason donated $20.
Thing that started.
I have a show that's in my top 3 unexpectedly, and that is Boston Legal. The dynamic between Spader and Shatner, unforgettable, and changed my way of seeing those two forever.
Didn't see that.
To go, and I remember that one was good. There was another. There was a teacher show that I used to watch too. I can't remember what the hell it was called. It's really damn good, and it had I can't remember. I used to watch it for at least a couple 2 seasons. It was the hell was that show called? I know it doesn't really narrow it down to teacher.
Cooper?
No, I don't know what the hell it was called, but it was It was on for like 2 or 3 seasons, and I used to watch it. I can't even tell you who the fuck was in it. Boston Public? Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was Boston Public. I think that's exactly what it was. I don't know how you guys got that from there, but yeah, it was. All right. Let's get to the next one. I'm going to go to Super Chat real quick before we go on over to. Oh wait, did Super Chats not pop in here today? Oh, I know that there were Super Chats. Shit, they didn't register on Streamlabs for some reason.
What did you do last time when this happened? There was
something that was because of StreamYards. I think because we interrupted the stream.
Oh,
none of the Super Chats came in.
Are you on the?
I know what's going to happen. It's going to refresh. And I'll have to do it. I'm gonna if I don't. So let me try to see if I see any of these Super Chats that are coming in here. Shit, guys, I'm gonna go through and see if I can see any that are actually on the chat itself. I'll read some of them down here. And then if they refresh tomorrow, I'll make sure that I reread them. So sorry about that. Tomorrow, by the way, Mark Ellis and Mark Riley will be on the show tomorrow. We're having them in. So let's see where else.
Gonna allow those knuckleheads to show up.
I know we are. So I can't. This is from Levi Road. Some of my favorite TV shows: Entourage, The X-Files, and The Boys on Amazon Prime. Entourage was one that it was like the answer to Sex and the City, which is also a great show. And it was like the guys' version of Sex and the City, and it was a peek inside of the Hollywood system, which it was very inside baseball if you lived in Hollywood, obviously, and you saw this kind of stuff and you got it, and it was like, but you also didn't have to. Like my dad
didn't watch it. Yeah,
you didn't watch Entourage?
I auditioned for it. I had a friend who was a writer on it, but I never auditioned.
No,
I never
watched it. Kate Van D, Trailer Park Boys, the best mockumentary out there. I never saw that one.
I've seen clips. I think I would like it if it was I could get into it and have the time.
Couldn't do it. Ryan C. Archer's my favorite comedy. Always a go-to.
That's pretty damn
funny. Like that one too?
I don't follow it, but I mean the ones I've seen I've enjoyed.
I know that Adam Winkleman used to watch that show often. Archer.
Yeah.
Joshua Riddle, MASH, and that 70s show. I think that's a lot. And again, guys, I'll refresh the super chat later but I don't know why.
It's amazing. A lot of these shows that like I know of and I've seen bits and pieces of, but I just time-wise just couldn't get into them. You know, you have to, there's the ones you just get laser focus on, and then there's the ones that you go, oh, that was cool, but then you kind of get sidetracked and you go into something else.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to Streamlabs because I want to make sure there's so many. You guys have so many suggestions in here. Keeping it open. Streamlabs.com/the Matthew Z. Reed is in here, and you're gonna hear Matthew's song today because the swag. Andres Cabrera going up against Josh Quevedo, but we'll have that Matthew Reed track, and I actually have it in here. Listen to how good this song is, by the way.
I was going to watch that one.
Mechanic Mike donated $20. Sorry, I'm tuning in late. Work and such. I did like the vid though. Favorite TV show was Black Sails. 4 seasons that didn't try too hard to push into extra seasons that weren't needed. And the best pirate stuff out there. Season 2 final episodes are amazing.
Black Sails, I don't know that.
Black Sails, I've been told about it with Makuga, but I haven't. I have never actually watched it. But this is just Matthew Reed, real quick. I'm gonna turn the Schmoebot off for a second, and I'm gonna have Matthew Reed. This is the theme song for Swag. If you're not watching the Schmoedown, or even if you do, you're familiar with this one.
Sway, drip, drip. Yeah, we coming for them ships. Sway, drip, drip. Eating everybody, we don't need a bib. Sway, drip, drip. Everybody tripping, slipping on my drip. Got the swag and we drip. Got the swag and we drip. Sway, serving the sauce. We yellow but wins, we ain't taking the loss. And we got attitude, niggas, you fellas. Game recognized game, you ain't looking familiar. Y'all trying to diss, but worry your wins. You lacking the swag, we came with the drip. Now it's prime time and that's worth the way I'm directing the game. And that's where they're robbing. Got me dripping in the swag, squad is catching bodies, put them in the bed. Really ain't too much to say, we won't never be afraid. Y'all been waiting on the 10, now we do this every day. Knowledge dripping, nothing knocking, crossing what's to get you got the swag. Sway, drip, drip. Yeah, we coming for them ships. Sway, drip, drip. Eating everybody, we don't need a bib.
Anyway, it's really, really good. Matthew Reed crushed it. Schmoebot's back on. It's really, really good. So, you'll hear that, and then obviously the other side of it is the great David B, who did the Rockstars theme. Play this again. This is the Rockstars theme, which you'll hear for Josh Quevedo. It's like a mix of Green Day and Dropkick Murphys for sure. Anyway, so you'll hear a lot of that. You'll hear a lot of this shit today, guys. So the songs will be posted very soon. I haven't talked to Matthew about posting his song, so that one's not going to be available yet. I have to have a conversation with Matthew first. But all the other stuff, the David B stuff, will be available on the store. We'll be launching that store very, very soon. With a lot of logos, old school logos, new things, new merch that's coming out for the Schmoedown. It'll be coming out really, really soon. They're going to get posted at the Schmoedown store. So if you're signed up for the Schmoedown Insiders, you can go to the schmoedownlive.com and sign up. You'll know right away when it drops. So, and it's not patrons only. No. Okay, going back on over to. And let's get to Lawrence Lease, who put that in there. Sorry, Krista talked about 30 Rock. Did you watch 30 Rock, by the way?
Bits and pieces.
I got a kick out of 30 Rock. It was pretty damn funny. And that's where Alec Baldwin had a bit of that
resurgence.
Yeah. David Wilson has a Schmobot. Thank you. And then we get back into Charlie C, who says, it's my sister-in-law's Stephanie's birthday today. She's a big fan of Sebastian. Maybe she can get a shout-out from him. Stephanie, why are you having your brother-in-law watching two idiots talking about television, and they haven't even gone in depth on Friends? What are you doing? Where's Seinfeld in this conversation? Did you watch Seinfeld?
Nope.
No, I didn't watch Seinfeld either, though. It was one of those things where Seinfeld, to me, anytime I watched it, really liked it.
Yeah.
Thought the episodes were great. It was very similar, like Curb Your Enthusiasm. Thought it was great show, very funny, understood the hype, just never hooked on it like everybody else.
I didn't quite. I got the concept. I didn't find it that funny. I didn't find it not funny, but it wasn't like it was and again, I think Friends, Seinfeld, things like this. A lot of these came out when I was like graduating high school and college, and we didn't watch television back then. We hung out and we did things together. And, we didn't have televisions. We had like 3 or 4 people in the dorm had a TV, and then we had one in the middle of the seating area downstairs that you could watch.
Well, it's interesting.
It was the 1950s.
You old bastard. All right, and back over. Let's see. Deontay Wimbish on Super Chat says, hints of the Rocks theme and the Rockstars theme. Not for that one. There is hints of it in Bateman's new theme. There's no doubt about it. You could if you listen to beats. Someone mentioned this Battlestar Galactica. No, that's why I wanted to see if Katie would call in, because I think Battlestar is one of the. There's no chance you watched any of that.
No.
Yeah, that's a great show. That first
people love it.
It's a great show.
Yeah.
That opening pilot, man. I told you I canceled the date to watch that show, and I remember I told Katie that when I first met her, and that it was pretty funny too. I told a joke about that on stage. Anyway. Going back over to, we have Lyle Graverson. If you missed Game of Thrones and you haven't watched The Last Kingdom on Netflix, you should. It doesn't have the epic scale of Game of Thrones, like the dragons, but but since it's based on history, the Danes versus Saxons, it's a lot more steady. He says Uhtred over Jon Snow. All right, I haven't heard too much about The Last Kingdom, but it's not to say it's not good. I just haven't heard a lot about it. The Void. Body found on the beach this morning, identified as former WWE wrestler Shad Gaspard. R.I.P. Shad, a true hero. Yeah, that's that was really sad. I read that this morning. I was really bummed. I mean, you kind of feared for that when you heard what was going on, but it just sucks, man. Especially when that story is really tragic, and he just was trying to protect his kid, and he said, "Save him."
Yeah.
I don't like that story, but yeah. Sir Lord Attenborough, hey guys, hope everyone's doing well. The obvious answers to me are Breaking Bad, The Wire, and The Sopranos, but my own favorites are Mad Men, Fresh Prince, Battlestar, Avatar, The Last Airbender, and Handmaid's Tale. Excited for the Star Wars tournament on Twitch. You and me both. It happens today. Pretty excited about it. I did that again. There it is.
You might have trouble finding it.
I gotta hunt for it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to, because it's not in bold letters at the bottom of this thing he just put on the screen. But if you can, it's all caps just to help you out.
Right. And I will tweet the link out.
Wait, you can copy and paste the link too, or just click on it?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Oh, what a whale!
I know. Peggy Gubbins, The West Wing, Friday Night Lights, Fresh Prince, seasons 1 and 3 of Suits, season 1 of The Newsroom, Chappelle Show, Smash, Archer, What About Brian, Entourage, and 24. One season or less faves, My So-Called Life, Love Monkey, and Manhattan Love Story. You know, bringing back to 24, by the way. 24 did the same thing, had the kind of that cinematic feel that I was talking about with Lost. But the problem is it had the same problem. It was so connected to, it was on Fox. So there's only so much. They got away with a lot, and it was pretty raw for what they were able to do. But same thing. They had too many episodes, and obviously 24 episodes. It was each one was an hour, which the gimmick was great. But I think that once you ran into like season 4 of that show, I think it started going downhill. But I liked it. Jack Bauer was the best.
He did not play by the rules.
He did. He certainly did.
It was not your
He wasn't your average. Yeah,
we binged the hell out of that.
I know,
A-List. I don't know. Did ever anybody like A-List? Am I the only one that loved Jennifer Garner and the A-List?
What was it?
Alias.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, that was J.J. Abrams
We
also.
binged the
Bradley Cooper
hell
was in
out
that
of
one too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was one.
Yeah. He was like a geeky friend, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I never
and
watched
someone
that show.
we did stand up with was in that.
Who?
Oh God, Jesus! I'll look her up.
I don't remember. Dream On. That's a great one. Dream On was one of my favorite. It was one of my first ones. Love Dream On.
Oh, I gotta look that up too.
Dream On. Felicity was also J.J. Abrams. That's true. Okay. Schmoebot still on, and again, there's so many suggestions and stuff inside here, guys, that this is going to be one of those things that if we don't get to everybody's comments today, that we will finish it up tomorrow. And like I said, we can just do a part 2 with Riley and Ellis tomorrow. So if you want to join in the conversation again tomorrow, we will finish up. We got about another 24 minutes, so we'll finish up, get through everybody's comments, and then we'll continue it on tomorrow.
Remember Marin Dungy?
No.
You do not.
Let me see the face.
I think you even you would remember Marin Dungy. She was Luna Park days.
Maybe I don't remember. No. Darth Obi-Wan put in a Schmoebot. The Green Flamingo. The Green Flamingo says, "I, Panini, don't you be a meanie. Thought you wanted me to go up while you trying to keep me teeny. It's a dreamy wished on a genie. I got fans finally, and you ain't wanting them to see me. I'm here for Bobcat's birthday party." Thank you to Green Flamingo. Mike Esk. One that I think people don't talk about enough is Farscape. I swear, John Crichton was the inspiration for Commander Shepard in the Mass Effect game series. I never heard of Farscape, to be honest. But the other one that someone mentioned yesterday that I think a lot of people love was Fringe. Fringe was another one that I've never seen. There's so much TV out there that I haven't seen. Chad Wires, who put in the Schmoebot, so did Douglas Johnson, Pac-Man Dwayne. Matt Chapman says, my favorite show of all time is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which is mostly due to the stereo storytelling from Joss Whedon. The Office, Arrested Development, and Seinfeld are among my favorite.
Darth had donated $20. So hard to choose one show. MASH? Star Trek? Ozark? Monk? Battlestar? Too many others. How about The Mandalorian? Why?
Oh, yeah.
Because it knows how to tell a Star Wars story without making the special effects the main character. And I grew up knowing Dave Filoni.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He's talked. I think he's an old Collider Live fan. He used to call in and talk about that. So, yeah. It's
there was one of those in there that sparked something in me, and I can't think of it now because.
Which one?
There was one of those in there that I was like, oh yeah, shit, that.
There's some good ones. So many. Mandalorian though, man. I think we give it some time. I don't know if we can call it one of the greatest of all time yet, but if it continues on, or one deep, and if it continues on, man, I don't want it to be one of those. Well, remember how good the first season was?
Yeah. Oh God,
I know
that would be the biggest gut punch.
Be a crusher, but I don't see that happening. So many great ones, and this is the thing, Brett. Like you said, there's so much TV out there that there's stuff that probably has been we haven't even scratched the surface. So that's why you're going to need 2 parts for this. Pac-Man Dwayne, favorite comedy shows, Chappelle, favorite drama, The Wire, favorite cartoon between Batman or X-Men favorite show. I will watch with my dad, Three Stooges. That's right. Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pac-Man. Matt Chapman, thank you, Dagan. For pure enjoyment, Lost. Like the feeling of watching the end of an episode, being like, what the fuck? Coming back the next week, expecting answers, but instead having
Jim
more
Mason
questions.
donated $20. I love the over-the-top action and soap opera of Alias, but my favorite all-time spy series from the UK called The Sandbonkers. A very gritty, realistic look at the spy trade like Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
Interesting.
I really can't recommend it enough.
I've never heard that one. That's a good one. And okay, we'll have to probably there's some like I'm gonna have to make a list of all these ones that I haven't heard of.
Where are my Sydney Bristow fans?
Well, Dagan, who closed up, said the final season of Lost. Though, oof. Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind it. I mean, I understood why people were bummed by it.
Well, they didn't know. Clearly, they didn't know where they were going with it the whole time, right?
Yeah, I don't like when they do that, when they pretend that they do, but they don't.
Yeah.
Like, I think it might be purgatory. I don't know. We can change it up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, but it's not. But then
it's
they.
Not.
Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not that.
I don't know what it is. I don't want to do what that guy thought. Maybe we should do that.
But that one, I mean, you talk about one that was tough to not be able to binge because, every single episode was like, fuck. We gotta wait.
Oh yeah, it was must-watch TV.
Yeah,
I mean it was. There's a few shows like that catch magic. You know that people are like there's a lot of shows that people love.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of shows that, like, you look at something like Fleabag. Fleabag is a show that people like swear by and love, but it doesn't have that, like, it's not that must-watch feel that Game of Thrones was. That, I mean, 24 had that for a bit. And Friends had that. Obviously, Lost had that. There were these shows, Dallas had that. There was these shows that every week, that's what you were doing. Sopranos had that. You were watching it every week. What was the big thing the next day that everyone's talking about is that show. And that happens very rarely.
It makes the water cooler conversation difficult at this, like, because back then, now I feel like you have conversations with people about television shows, and they're like, "Oh, I haven't seen. I need to check that out."
Nicholas David Gallagher donated $20. Half my favorite is an animated classic called Monster. The enthralling story of a neurosurgeon framed for murder chasing the patient who framed him across post-U2 Europe is captivating. The score is a cinematic masterwork and voice acting rivals Pixar.
Wow.
Oh, wow. It's high praise. High praise.
Pac-Man Wayne donated $20. Another great show I watch to this day is Martin and Married with Children. Those two are the greatest insults to people ever.
Easily. Married with Children is one of the funniest shows of all time. Deontay and Martin, by the way, to this day, I never laughed so hard where he thinks like Gina's cheating on him. And I've talked about this on here before. And he bursts through the hotel and he just starts beating the shit out of a bellboy who was putting like food on her or like a table. And he's like screaming in that Martin, like, ah! And Gina! I laughed my ass off. Deontay Wimbish, slightly off topic, but do you guys have any guilty pleasure TV shows? World's Dumbest on True TV comes to mind. I mean, I used to watch those types of shows for sure, like when they pop up The World's Dumbest Criminals and shit like that.
I'd say Cops. I already said it. Yeah.
At the Helm Media, since Lost keeps getting mentioned, has Watchmen brought up? Lindelof and crew killed it. It hasn't been brought up yet. If RB3 would have brought it up about 80 times if he was here. He loves that show.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I just got it. Could we play? I was on an episode of Real Stories of the Highway Patrol. It's my first paid acting gig.
Really?
I don't know if you can search it, but I could digitize it and
So
do you think anybody give a shit with demonetize?
Of course. Let's take a look at it for sure. Gabriel Lopez, this is a great suggestion, Gabriel. I love this show. I enjoyed watching Quantum Leap and The Fall Guy growing up in the 80s. I love Quantum Leap. The craziest one, you talk about, I remember must-watch TV was when he jumped into Lee Harvey Oswald's body. And it was the whole thing of how that was going to change. How was he going to change? What was he going to do? And in the show, basically what he prevents is, in reality, what had happened was Jackie Kennedy also got killed, but he prevented that. So he jumped into Oswald's body. The president still was killed, but he jumped in and he jumped into Oswald's body, shot off the shot, but before I think it was still Oswald that shot it because he jumped into the secret agent that saved Kennedy in the back of the car. So I remember that, That was like 93. Tom Sagsprayed, how about I Love Lucy? Still funny, at least to me. I mean, legendary show.
Yeah.
Legendary show. And changed it up, man. Changed it up. Prince It Wasn't Promised. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure The Wire, Game of Thrones, and Sopranos shouldn't count. It's not TV. It's HBO. Well done. I'm trying to go through because for some reason, guys, I don't know why the super chat it's not registering on the when I look at Streamlabs, so I have to like actually read them as they come in. So forgive me if I miss them. I'm gonna try. Hopefully they refresh tomorrow and pop up because that's usually what happens.
Part 2.
Yeah, we're definitely doing part 2 tomorrow
because we got the Snyder cut thing popped in, and I think that kind of took away from
there was a lot. We're gonna have a lot to talk about tomorrow with Riley and Ellis, and Ellis can give his review on seasons 1 through 3 of The Sopranos. Colin Martinez binged Curb Your Enthusiasm and Veep. Veep's one we haven't talked about yet. For the first time in April. They're now my favorite comedies. My favorite Curb moment is the opening of the restaurant with the cursing chef. Having worked on Capitol Hill, I can say Veep is unrealistic but pretty damn accurate. That's a show that every Emmys it won. Yeah. And it came out at the right time. It was developed at the right time. Same thing for me that I said for like Seinfeld and Curb Your Enthusiasm. Anytime I watched an episode, this is great stuff. Yeah. Just never went back to watch it.
That's the thing. And that's like Ozark. you gotta go back. There are things with all this content. There are things that have to really grab you, and that's that. It's tough because I missed out on a lot of good stuff and still do.
Yeah, well, you do all the time. Josh Barnett, Schmoebot, House Heisenberg. It's still my favorite show, and I can no longer argue with anyone who says it isn't the best anymore.
Okay.
But I will go to war with anyone who says Game of Thrones isn't easily one of the top 10 greatest shows of all time. It certainly is. I don't think that it's fair to if you don't like that last season. You were watching the last season for a reason because you were hooked on all the previous seasons and you thought it was an amazing show. That's why you continue, whether you were bummed or not at the way that it ended, you were locked in and you were connected. And the reason you were pissed off is because you were so locked in.
Nicholas David Gallagher donated $20.
Thank you, Nicholas.
Two Halves Monster is available in its entirety on YouTube for free.
Oh.
What are your favorite shows that discuss ethics/spiritual themes? Monster uses its brilliant writing to cover everything from race politics to the purpose of existing at all and blind faith.
Wow, that's deep. I don't know, man. I have to look into.
Yeah, that's another one where I need.
I need a list. And anytime that those types of questions come up, or like, what's your favorite shows that deal with this, or favorite movies that deal with this? It's like I got to see a list. So
we were talking about. Did you ever see Derek, Ricky Gervais's show?
No, I know which one.
In a nursing home.
Yeah.
And I want to see his afterlife of that one. He's got a way of being super fucking funny and then just rip your heart out.
Yeah. That's what he was. He's one of the more talented guys out there too, because he could have that thing where he's like, oh, he's obnoxious. I don't want to watch this guy, but he does have that thing.
And his office character, you feel really like even more so than Carell. I think you feel bad for a lot of times. Like
is he the same?
He's so cringe worthy that it's just like. It's the same thing.
He's Michael, basically.
Yeah, it's the same concept that there's a Pam and a Jim, but they're not. I mean, the first episode of both of them are, and I think they only did like 3 or 4.
Okay.
Yeah, British shows. One thing I'll give them, they don't beat things into the ground. They do a couple episodes, they do a finale, and they're out, and they don't.
Well, it's also the amount of money that is put out over here too.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had Francisco Ramirez putting a Schmoebot. See that guy over there? My favorite TV show of all time is Community. I never watched Community. It came out when I was entering college, and it was so different at the time compared to other sitcoms. It's meta humor. It's almost unmatched and introduced the world to Donald Glover. # 6th season. # Sand a movie. Did you watch that one?
I didn't. I think because I think it had the Office part. It was like Parks and Rec's Office, Community. They all kind of had that same feel. No, actually no, because I don't know, but I didn't watch. That was one that I slipped underneath.
I never got a chance to.
Slipped it under the doorstep with the mailman and
the mailman and the stuff
and the peanut butter on his bunnies.
The Prince That Wasn't Promised. Really like Black Mirror and Altered Carbon. Also, the way that you make you rethink everything around you and what it means to be alive.
We tried Altered Carbon.
Yeah, couldn't do it. I remember Altered Carbon when it was a script.
Wow.
It was a script it was a movie. That's what for the longest time they were trying to push it through. Naveed. McElhargy was trying to push it through at Warner Brothers, and they couldn't get it to go with Joel, and then it became a series. And I still have never watched a single episode of it. Okay, Nick Piccolo. I don't watch a lot of TV, but the ones I have watched and loved are The Office. The Office is not. We haven't really.
Salad Von Bako donated $20. I came in late and am not sure if anyone mentioned any of my favorite shows.
Let's hear it.
I like Cheers, Night Court, Newhart.
Those are great ones.
Night Court.
One thing we did ask for people who did join, if you're going to put in a Schmoebot, if you want to put in a list, that's fine. But what we'd also like you to do, if possible, put in your show and then say why you loved it, what did it mean to you, like that type of thing, so we can start a discussion off of it. But so Cheers for me, also Salad was one of my favorites because I mentioned before, my dad and I would watch that all the time. That was like his show, and I just started to get into it, like Sam, Diane, and what Kirstie Alley was able to do, by the way, coming off of that, because I think Shelley Long wanted more money and she ended up leaving. That was very hard to do, to have that kind of chemistry between two actors, and then a new person comes in and like, okay, well, let's see if he's not going to have the chemistry with her, and they did. Yeah, they had that, and it was a different type of relationship. Obviously, it was a brand new person, But yeah, man, I thought that they did that very well, and you were able to connect. And for a sitcom on NBC, it was that you talk about must-watch television. I mean, that was,
of course, the finale of that one, it's
huge. Okay. Tavishka Productions, being Native American, I love shows that give representation to tribes. Letterkenny, Frontier, and Longmire are great examples. My favorite was Red Road, but I never saw season 3 or conclusion to the stories it was building up. Obviously, Longmire was the one I knew because when Katie had gotten cast in it, and then they had moved it because I forget what channel it was on first, and then it got moved to Netflix. So that was one, like my dad watches that one too, and for that reason too, it's fairly authentic feel from what people are saying.
Something pulled us away from Letterkenny. I started to get into it, and something pulled us away, and now it's like, oh, do we go back? Do we, that one keeps coming up, though.
Yeah, it keeps popping up. All right. So now we have Marshall Weeks put in a Schmoeville. Thank you. Trash Panda. Arrested Development is one of the all-time greats. Sure, the Netflix seasons were a mess, but those first 3 seasons were some of the sharpest, raunchiest, rapid-fire jokes for a network comedy. And that cast, everyone went on to big things.
That was a disappointing comeback.
So that's the problem I had with the show. So I had an ex-girlfriend that would rave about that show. The first 3 seasons, rave about it and like talk about how it was the best show ever. And I never got into it. So then it came back. And I watched a couple episodes when it came back. I was like, "What? I don't understand what it is about."
Oh, you went the wrong way.
I went the wrong way.
Yeah.
And people were like, no, you can't start with those. You can't. You blew it. So I blew it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jason Bateman, again, you see how he can deliver the type of humor he does in Ozark through the darkness with this one, because it's a comedy, but he's a put upon person in this show that's trying to hold things together.
Yeah.
And you kind of see how he made that transition into Ozark from that. You got to watch it.
All right.
Yeah.
I do want to watch it. Nick Piccolo, by the way, I didn't finish out what he was saying. He said a lot of the TV shows he are The Office, Breaking Bad, Dexter, and House. Dexter, by the way, was great. The biggest problem with Dexter was something that happened at the end of season 4. So for those people who never saw it, you ever watch Dexter?
I didn't, but Blake auditioned to be his son.
Did he really?
He didn't want to do it. I'm like,
would you
please do it?
It was a big role. Dexter season 4, something happens at the end of season 4 that even though it was some of the best television like ever and a crazy moment, it ruined the rest of the show.
Really?
Because of what happens, this particular moment inside of Dexter was the crux of like what the show was all about. And then when this thing happens, it shifted it completely and made him very different from what he was. And there was and they lost a showrunner, they lost all that stuff. Like Mark Fernandez worked on that show for a long time. He's a producer on that show. Okay. See, moving over. So thank you, Nick, by the way. And now we have Matthew Z. Reed, who talked about Airbender in 24. Thank you. He says, I watched it for the first time last year. Talking about Airbender. Worked for both kids and adults. It's charming, and it's just great. Watch it with your daughter. She'll love it. Charlie C. I tried sending this, but the stream went down, so here's attempt 2. Oh, I did that one, the Sebastian one. Jonathan Caro talks about Sopranos and Space Force. Eric put in a Schmobot. Nazwan Sabli. GL Stocky put in Schmobots. Thank you. Jenny put in a Schmobot. Nicholas David Gallagher. I'd argue for the original Law and Order, which reinvented the procedural genre forever. Had great guests, changed primetime advertising forever. Detective Lenny Briscoe is the best TV cop ever written, and everyone knows the gavel sound. That's true. But did anyone mention NYPD Blue?
No.
Never mentioned now. That was another one.
Hill Street Blues.
But you talk
Go back way back.
Yeah, that's true. But NYPD Blue changed up because remember they cursed on that show on ABC. That was the big thing. They pushed limits because it was after a certain time on television. They showed Dennis Franz's ass.
Do you remember that there was a comedian that was in the Luna Park days? He did a bit about that, and he goes, they're just kind of stretching to even put him in. He goes, what kind of an ass, dick, ball movie? They tried to get.
Who was that? Was that Rich?
I can't remember his name, but
I kind of remember that.
He was trying to. He's like, now they're just kind of ridiculous. They're just throwing all the ones they can get away with
in one sense. Yeah, but that was the whole thing. That was the shtick that you could curse on that show after like 10 o'clock. Matthew Z. Reed, shout out to Mythbusters. That's a show I watched with my dad. It inspired a generation of makers, filmmakers, scientists. A shout out to Mythbusters. Jenny put in a Schmobot. David Mikola. Also, Storm Shadow Rocks. News Radio is still one of my favorites. Joe Rogan was in that one.
Yeah.
Sitcoms ever. It was a great ensemble cast and guest stars throughout seasons 1 through 4. Not a great final season, though, after Phil Hartman died. But his character, Bill McNeil, is an all-time classic narcissistic jerk. From what I remember from that show, I remember, what wasn't Phil Hartman good in?
Yeah.
So I do remember him being pretty good in that show. I just don't remember it as well. Review and Play 23. It's the Family Guy for me. It's so silly and over the top that I can put it in the background without getting too invested. And while I do other things, the most recent seasons aren't that great, but I keep watching, hoping for at least one great episode. So you remember that show got canceled at one point.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was like canceled. They took it, and then it was because of when DVDs were a big thing, and the seasons started coming out. People were rewatching with DVDs.
Oh, I had season 1 through 4 on DVD. The big pack.
They came out, and then because they became so popular, they put it back on.
I bought them at
TV.
Suncoast. Remember that?
I remember Suncoast. Yeah, for sure. Tongue Punch, who Peanut Butter Anus. Thank you, Peggy Gubbins. Peanut Butter Anus and Tongue Punch put in Schmoebots. That's right. Peggy Gubbins, here's a favorite that nobody else will think to mention, a show I look forward to every year, and I'm always bummed when it wraps up. HBO's Hard Knocks. It's a good one. I'm a diehard Bears fan, and while they've never followed my team, and it cut out. I'm sorry, Peggy. Muffin Truck. I'd have to say Schitt's Creek is my favorite TV show as of late. Probably top 5. It's heartfelt, inclusive, makes you laugh and cry at the same time. Characters are memorable, and the arc of each Rose family member is very well done. You like that show, right?
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Hotel Nerd, Adam Collins. Hey, Adam Collins. Adam Collins, brand new rookie Adam Collins.
Nicholas David Gallagher donated $20. My last recommendation, House of Cards.
No.
The brutally realistic look at how power costs you respect has inspired me to pursue my own congressional run as an independent candidate in the
good for you.
Pennsylvania 14th District in 4 years after I graduate film school.
Good for you.
Wow.
It's awesome. Congratulations. That's amazing. House Heisenberg. I raved about Ozark. I raved about Better Call Saul, but this show, Dark, on Netflix is better than both of them. Well, I got to check this out. Kristian, I know you're into the kind of time travel from Arrival, and this show uses that and makes a masterpiece. Put it on your list. Dark, it's called? Never heard about this show. See, I will put that show on my list. Dark. All right. I haven't heard about Dark yet. I'm gonna make a note on that one. I'm gonna check it out.
List.
Yeah, I just put it on the list right now. Let's do a couple more, and then we're gonna go to part 2. Dirty Mother Taslin. All right, long time viewer, first time donator. Well, thank you for the donation. All my all-time favorite show is Seinfeld for its timeless humor and crazy shenanigans with the gang. Devs is one of my recent favorites for its deep themes and trippy, grounded sci-fi concepts. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Devs, yeah, that one came up.
Yeah. The Green Flamingo, no Busey Ben. Okay. He doesn't want this one read as Busey, I guess. Documental on Amazon is a Japanese comedy show. One successful comedian puts his buddies in a room and try to make each other laugh. Laugh and you lose, anything goes. Win like 100,000, and it's a different humor than ours. Check it. Okay. Documental. A lot of great suggestions here today. Corey Rodriguez, Sir Lord Attenborough, Josh Barnett, Ben Rayner, and Prince That Wasn't Promised all put in Schmoebots. Colin Martinez last year had my 2 favorite miniseries, Chernobyl and Watchmen. Chernobyl I hear a lot of really amazing things about. The commentary both are so important. The dialogue of Chernobyl is flawless. When I heard that Watchmen was only 1 season, I wondered how they could wrap it up, but they wrap it up masterfully. It's another one I got to watch. So much shit I got to watch. Tyler Goshka, Band of Brothers. Yeah, there we go. Yep. I watched it growing up. Surprised there's only 1 Band of Brothers in here so far. We would talk about WW2 history, and I would learn a lot. Also got connected with the characters, and Winters inspired me and my brothers in life. Great character. Brijnar Renshin. Speaking of TV shows, have you guys heard of Kid Nation? Have not. It was a show in 2007 where 40 kids were put in the middle of nowhere with little or no adult supervision. I did
remember that.
I did, absolutely, yes. With no adult supervision for 40 days trying to rebuild a ghost town. It's insane. No, I remember that, but what happened to the kids?
I don't know. I remember watching one or two of them, but yeah.
Nuts, right? They had to have some people around. SB Stewart.
Did it get Lord of the Flies?
It had to. That was probably the goal. SB Stewart put in Schmoebot. You know that was the pitch.
Yeah.
You know that was the pitch.
No, get this.
Yeah. Brian Ranson, John Tron did a great video about it. It was hilarious. You should check it out. He also interviewed one of the kids who was only 8 years old in the show. Yeah, I have to try to find some of the clips for that. Peanut Butter Anus put in a Schmoebot there for sure. House Heisenberg. Last one here today. I raved about Ozark. Oh, no, we did that one. I'm sorry. Thick Nick. Thank you, Thick Nick. Shane Joel. My favorite memories watching a TV show was watching I Love Lucy with my parents. So my personal favorite is the criminally underrated and canceled too soon Firefly. What Joss did blending sci-fi and Western is genius. It's another one people really, really loved, man, was Firefly, and then obviously Serenity the movie. But I never watched that one. Shane Joel, Corey Rodriguez, Orange Cassidy, Blade Hawk, Little Kid Lover, Peanut Butter Anus again.
Hey.
Yep. And then My Anus is Bleeding. And Peanut Butter Anus and David Wilson and Josh Barnett also put in Schmoebots.
Oh, get ready to everybody's name's gonna have anus in it.
Yeah,
next.
probably Chris Jones, Breaking Bad, #1, but now replaced by Better Call Saul. Wow, that's interesting.
Replaced.
That's what they said. Although tone is different, the template from the Breaking Bad team is there. They've just got things so highly polished. The quality of the writing and acting is absolutely sublime. Oh. All right, we're going to start tomorrow with Samantha Ramirez because so many great suggestions here, guys. Thank you for putting in all these wonderful suggestions and things that you wanted to talk about. We will do more. I'm hoping that the Super Chat kind of reboots tomorrow, so that way I can read out any ones that I did miss on the Super Chat. For some reason, they're not registering on Streamlabs.
We'll talk about Barney Miller, Fish.
Yeah, we should. We absolutely should.
Welcome back, Cotter. I mean, you guys are forgetting a lot of these.
Some old. I mean, you guys are young enough for that. Roca,
when's Roca on so we can talk about Welcome Back, Cotter?
Yeah, it's Salad and Bacon said, "Do kids in the hall count? They're great, of course."
Oh shit, yeah,
absolutely. What was the one that I said that was the last one?
It was a female name.
Yes, it was, and I can't remember what her name was, but I'll find it. Anyway, guys, thank you so very much.
Was it as presumptuous of me? Was I always get worried when I say
we had it. It was Samantha Ramirez.
Samantha
Ramirez was the last.
I don't know if you'd identify as a female Samantha, but you know.
Yeah, but we will start with you tomorrow, Samantha. So Samantha, thank you very much, and guys, thank you all very much for joining us here today. It was a great show. I really, really appreciate it all. Thank you to Brett Sheridan. Remember, big stuff happening in Schmoedown World, ladies and gents, today, 3 p.m. PST. Josh DeGester Quevedo for the Rockstars goes up against Andres Ace Cabrera from Swag. It is the play-in match to see who will be the 8th and final spot in the Schmoedown Star Wars tournament. Get on over there. You don't have to hunt for it. Just find it. Click on over there and follow the Schmoedown. You can do it on Twitch. We'll be over there today, myself and Mark Ellis calling the match. So thank you guys very much. We'll do part 2 with Ellis and Riley tomorrow. See you next time.